What's going on, everybody? I'm Mara.
And I'm Taz.
And welcome back to Sistas Who Kill. You ever feel like sometimes there's just way too many coincidences?
Our players this week are Jerry Taylor, Yvette's brother, and her first victim. Theodore Crew, Yvette's roommate, and our second victim. And lastly, Yvette Taylor, our murderess.
Yvette Taylor was born in 1965, and she's from Georgia. Now, she's from like up there near Augusta, like right on the border of North Carolina, those areas.
Yeah.
She had a brother named Jerry Taylor, and their mom's name was Irene Taylor. Now, her brother was born in 1966, so they were born close, giving Irish twins. So, and I don't know much about her growing up, but her and her brother still spoke when they were in their 20s, because in 1991, Yvette and her brother Theodore, they get into an argument, and they're arguing. They're both in their 20s. They're only a year apart. They're arguing.
But like mid-20s.
Yeah, like 25. They're arguing. And while they're arguing, they start fighting over a gun. And they're fighting over this gun, and no one knows what happened, but the gun went off. And now Yvette's brother is dead.
I tell you what, I'm not saying I want to kill somebody or be responsible for somebody's death, but the last person's death I want to be responsible for is my sisters.
You know?
Or my siblings. Like, it's too much. I can't hold that.
Now, when the police come, she's hunched over her brother's body, I'm assuming also crying. And they take his body off, and she's like, oh my gosh, we're arguing, the gun went off. And they're like, they do the autopsy, and they're like, he was shot in the eye 3 times. Once supports your story. 3 times total? You know?
Feels a bit intentional.
Right. And so she was charged.
Because you have to let go, release, like it's...
So she was charged with murder. She went to jail. She was about to go to trial, but she decided to take a plea. So she did involuntary manslaughter and got 10 years. Now, she only served 8 years. And there's like a break in when the dates of when she was in prison for this crime. I don't know if she went out on parole and messed up and had to come back. I don't know. But she does her time for the involuntary manslaughter of her brother that was shot in the eye 3 times.
Now, it's definitely giving she was out and had to go. Like, they'll do a suspended sentence sometimes, maybe. And so maybe she had a suspended sentence where she had to be on parole. And if she violated the parole, she had to complete the remainder of her sentence.
Because there's a break in there.
And during that break in 1997, Yvette gets arrested for threatening to kill a woman with a knife. And so she is charged with aggravated assault, but got it reduced to simple battery. But I'm sure after that aggravated assault, they said, go sit your ass out and finish your time. And so that's what she did. So she officially got out in 2002. And she done already tested the limits a couple times, okay? So she trying to chill out a little bit.
Right.
And then in 2004, 2 years later, she's arrested on an aggravated assault charge. She was accused of attacking her roommate in Harlem, Georgia with a broken beer bottle, which, I mean, like I said, you can't do that shit. Especially not with a strike against you. And the strike against you is murder.
You can't be threatening nobody with a broken bottle.
Any assault or aggressiveness is showing like you good for recidivism.
Right.
And that's not what we trying to do.
Right.
Her roommate knew 1 or 2 things. Let me say 3 things. Her roommate didn't feel like the process. Her roommate was scared of Yvette and decided not to go through the process. Or that roommate knew she deserved whatever
that
she
ass
got.
whooping.
He said, hey, man, I was drunk. I fucked up.
But you know you fucking tried me.
You know? But she did not press charges against Yvette. So Yvette is still a free woman.
Right.
Out in these streets. And she tries. She's woo signed and everything. But 2 years later, 2006, She is accused of hitting her boyfriend in the face with what you might ask, a beer bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he decided not to press charges.
Which, like...
It's given I deserved it.
But it's giving, like... Whew, I need to calm down with these beer bottles. They gonna catch me one of these days. I done hit so-and-so in the face. I done hit your ass in the face. I would be calling you like, girl, I did it again.
Listen.
I got to sit down before I go to jail again.
Got to. Pressing her luck. I don't know what the boyfriend is. Is it giving he knew he deserved it, or it's giving, you know, when niggas be trying to be like a little too macho and they be like, I can't go on no cops on no girl. Don't matter what that girl did to him. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, it's whatever, and they rather just be in that cycle, that violence or whatever, than pressing that charge. Press it. Now, again, Candy tries to woosah, chill out a little bit. She's got to enjoy this freedom that she has. You know what I mean? So it's time for her to like really grow up. I mean, by 2005, you 40.
Mm-hmm.
So she like 39 with the attack with her roommate. She 41 with her boyfriend. She got to chill out. She getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
And she does chill out. She do. And around 2011, she gets a job working as like an at-home aide for Mr. Theodore Crew. Theodore E. Crew was born on April 5th of 1948 in Eppinger, Georgia. His parents were John Screen Crew and Fannie Mae Waldron Roundtree. That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Waldron.
Hold on. Fannie Mae Wardlaw Roundtree.
That's a mouthful.
Wardlaw Roundtree.
Say that 10 times fast.
I'm telling you. And he was one of 5 children. He had 3 sisters and 1 brother. So eventually he moves to Savannah, Georgia, and he's raised by his aunt, Josie. Not sure why. Not sure if the other siblings came with him. We don't have that much information. What we know is he went to go live with her. Out there, he kind of went with this nickname. I don't know if it's the nickname Josie gave him or if it's a family nickname, but they called him Theo out there. And Theo went to school and was raised by Aunt Josie. She took very good care of him until he graduated from Woodville Tompkins High School. So he stays out in Savannah and he gets work as a longshoreman, which is a good job, decent pay, and he ain't trying to fuck up a good thing. He put in 20 years as a longshoreman, and after 20 years, he retired in 1989.
Almost 50. That's 50 years old. That's good.
Yeah. He lived a good life, worked a good job, got a good rest.
Listen.
But as he got older, he became a bit disabled, needed some more help around the house. And that's what led him to hire Yvette to be his living caretaker.
Mm-hmm. And this is around 2011 that she starts moving in with him. And her mama lived right across the street. So it's great. She's got a perfect little setup, get a little job, got a little money, taking care of this old man. While she's working there, she starts getting frustrated at him. Like, being a caretaker is hard. Like, you have to take care of them. You have to clean up after them. And she was really starting to not like this anymore, getting over it. Like, she stopped caring. And this is not somebody that's related to her, right? This is just some guy that she's trying to get money for, and she's got to pick up shit all day. So here it is. It's February 11th, 2012. It's around 11:40 p.m. and Yvette needs to go to the store. So she asked one of the neighbors. Her name is Tanya Griffin. She's like, "Hey, Tanya, can you take me to the store real quick?" I guess Tanya got a car and she don't. And Tanya was like, "Yeah, girl, I'll take you to the store. Let me go ahead and put some clothes on, and no worries." 15 minutes later, Yvette comes out and is like, "You know what? Fuck this. I don't want to go to the store tomorrow." And she's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I'm so pissed off because Theodore done defecated on himself again. I got to take care of him. I don't feel like doing this. I can't even go to the store. I don't want to go to the store. I'm just so pissed off. This shit just keep piling up and up and up." And the neighbor's like, "Okay, we ain't got to go to the store no more."
It ain't that deep, girl.
So then she goes back to the apartment. By this time, it's after midnight. She's in the apartment, and from outside of the apartment, neighbors are starting to hear yelling and screaming and motherfucker, and hearing Theodore be like, Candace, and then yelling and thumping. And the neighbors are like, what the hell is going on inside that house? Well, inside the house, Yvette took some object plus a knife and was beating Theodore, stabbing him multiple times, beating him over the head multiple times, and leaving him in the bathroom in a bloody mess, naked on the bathroom floor. And Theodore is old. He's fragile at this time. So there's not a lot of fight that he can put up. Like, he's trying to scratch and defend himself as much as possible, but he don't have it like he used to, and she really has the upper hand. And
Let me tell you something.
They're arguing.
After dealing with my grandmother, they got a little bit fighting them. I mean, like, especially when she was in the hospital, wasn't feeling well. I think she was at her lowest weight in years. But I mean, she pulling these niggas' fingers back and like kicking them or whatever. She gonna find that strength. I'd be like, oh, you like to act weak, don't you? You playing me. You playing me. But even the fight that he did have,
she had a knife and she was stabbing him like 17 times.
And hitting him with another object. You know what I mean? Like, it was never gonna be a fair fight.
Right.
So Mr. Theodore is now dead, and Yvette starts to clean up the mess that she's made. She's pouring bleach everywhere. And it doesn't even give like wiping up the bleach. It gives, if the bleach is on top of it, it'll soak through and erase
whatever's
anything.
there.
Right. So just douses the place in bleach. And it goes to her mom's, because her mom's down the street. She makes it back to her mom's apartment around 8 a.m. And she tells her mom, all right, mommy, don't scream. Don't get loud enough, but I gotta tell you something. Girl, what you done did now? She's like, I need you to be chill, okay?
Need you to calm down.
Don't get too crazy, but Mr. Theodore's dead. And her mama was like, girl, what you doing over here? If he's dead, call 911. She said, slow your roll. Before we call the cops, maybe let's just go check on him.
Make sure he's actually, we might be able to save him.
Mm-hmm. So Miss Irene, her mama, goes over to Mr. Theodore's house to check.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to the scene, and it's not good. In fact, it's very bad. And Yvette has this brown IGA bag that she had over there, and she's like, I need to get rid of this. And she's like, listen, girl, I don't know where you about to get rid of it at, but don't throw it away in his trash, my trash, or any trash in this apartment complex. Because they going to be looking for something to tie you to this. And that going to do it. You ain't heard it from me, but it's just what I would do. So her mama ain't fucking with it too hard, because at the end of the day, she's still going to let her down that number to call 911. And so Yvette calls 911, and she tells dispatch, hey, so I woke up this morning and my friend is dead. Because remember, she got her mom like 8 a.m. So.
Right.
Oh, I woke up this morning, my friend is dead. I don't know what happened. So the police are like, okay, let's go check it out. So they come there. They find Mr. Theodore naked on the bathroom floor. She gave this man no dignity. His poor little old, frail, naked body is on this floor, covered in stab wounds. Obvious signs of trauma. I'm sure he's bruised and all this other shit. And the investigators are like, his body looks bad, but the crime scene doesn't look too bad.
Like, things missing.
For him to be looking like this, I need to be seeing stuff. It's given somebody tried to clean before we got here. And so blood is found on a chair in the living room, on the floor, on the walls, in a hallway leading to the bathroom. The bathroom floor is wet with water and bleach, but it doesn't really have a lot of blood. So I guess she wiped up a little bit.
She was mopping around his body.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is dumb. Like, and as they're looking, they're like, let's, spread out this search. Let's not just search this apartment building, but let's look for any clues outside or around it. Mm-hmm. And there go that damn IGA bag.
Not in a dumpster, like her mama told.
Not in a dumpster. And not in the trash. But in the wooded area behind the apartment complex.
Still not a good place.
When you tell people things, they tell you got to be specific.
Yeah. Because they just gonna take their own liberties.
In this IGA bag is clothes, bloody paper towels, a beer can.
The same beer that's in the fridge.
The same beer that they see in the fridge. And then a few feet away from it is a box cutter.
They said, girl, put your hands behind your back. And
she probably like, Ma, what should I do with this? And her mom looking inside like, something, baby. Something and fast.
So Yvette gives her first statement to the police, and she says, I went to Tanya's house. I told her that I was pissed off about him defecating on himself, and I left for the night. I went to my mama's house. I spent the night there, and then I came back and found him like this. I don't know what happened. And she was like, they were like, okay, well, what do you think happened? She was like, well, he liked to drink. He liked to party. Sometimes he do drugs, like maybe he had somebody over there. He asked somebody to give him a ride somewhere, and somebody came over and did this to him. They were like, but people said that they heard him yelling Candace. And she said, my name's Yvette. She said, maybe he was drunk. Maybe he imagined Candace, but she ain't me. And they were like, we have some more questions. She said, a matter of fact, let me stop you. May I speak to an attorney, please? No more questions. And they, of course, had to stop talking to her. And so they have her. She's detained. She's not charged with anything, but they have her. And so they then talk to Irene, Yvette's mom, because they have questions for her as well. And she's like, oh, my daughter stayed with me that whole night and left and then came back and said her friend was dead. And they're like, really? And they pressed her harder and harder and harder. She was like, okay. She came to my house at like 8 o'clock in the morning and told me that man was dead. And so the police are talking to other neighbors, of course, people that said they heard Candace, but they also are talking to people and they're hearing that Yvette is saying to them that she's so sick and tired of caring for Mr. Crew. Like, she's over it. It gets on her nerves. She doesn't want to do it anymore. And that same neighbor was like, I'm hearing thumping that night. I mean, thump, 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 thump. Somebody is falling in there or getting hit or something. So they arrest her and they're pretty sure that this is an open and shut case.
It's February 13th of 2012, and she has her first court date. While she been sitting in jail, she ain't been eating. But, you know, a lot of people do that if they think they about to get out quick. Because you don't got no really good options in there. Like, some nasty-looking sandwiches and shit.
Yeah.
And so they be like, you know, I can do a quick little fast until I get out. I don't have to.
If it's 3 or 4 days, I can starve myself.
You know what I mean? I look good when I get out, you know? So she wasn't really eating when she was in there. On February 15th, Sergeant April March told Yvette that, you know, trying to get her to eat. If you'll eat something, I'll take you outside for a smoke break. So Yvette ate, and the two of them went outside. Now, during this outside time, Yvette starts rambling.
Just chit-chatting, talking
shooting
shit.
the breeze.
Finally got a cigarette.
She probably feel like, you've been in jail for 2 days. You feeling things out. You don't really know who to trust.
Right.
But here goes this officer person in charge trying to be nice to me. And, you know, sometimes people just need a little bit of kindness, and then they just open right up, pour on out. Can't shut them up, you know? She's mostly just talking about the other inmates, what she's seen, what she's heard. But she gets to talking about what she in for. Somewhere along the story, she ends up slipping up and admits that she killed Mr. Theodore. She tells Sergeant March.
Well, she didn't, according to her, she didn't admit it.
Told this sergeant in the prison that she was being held as she awaited her trial. That she was tired of cleaning up after Mr. Theodore. And she was tired of having to watch him all the time. She says, and I quote, I cut him. I admit that. But I didn't kill him. I asked him if he wanted me to take him to the hospital because it kind of freaked me out. And he said no. So I left and I asked some girl for a ride. And so the sergeant says, girl, you know, you just got to make it right with the Lord.
Because you can't talk to her about it. You just got to let him talk.
She finishes this conversation with Sergeant March.
Enjoyed that one cigarette.
And Sergeant March expeditiously goes and tells the investigators everything that Yvette has just told her. Some sources are even saying that she spoke to other people in the prison or in the jail about it.
Like talking to him?
Yeah, getting stories. And she didn't get too much detail, but she gave enough.
I cut him is enough. It's always a cut.
So as she's sitting here waiting her trial, Judge Bernard Mulheron Sr. denies her bond. Because, girl, you in there getting chatted. You got in there the 13th. By the 15th, you done told the sergeant that you cut him and did not take him to the hospital. That's enough. Like, I ain't saying that you did it because I can't. Not at this time.
That's enough to not give you no bond.
That's enough. The judge said, I believe that she poses a threat to the community. And you know why he believes that, girl? There's a lot of reasons, honestly. The 2-bottle incidents. You killed your brother. And now you in here talking to the sergeant.
It's time.
Keeper.
Now, the medical examiner does the autopsy. And the medical examiner, Dr. Daniel Brown, determines that Theodore Crew had 21 blunt force injuries and 17 sharp force injuries all over his head, neck, arms, chest, and hands. and obviously ruled his death a homicide. Yvette was like, oh, he was drinking, he was drunk. Maybe he heard of a Candace, or he was delusional and saw a Candace. So they tested his urine, they tested his blood. No drugs, no alcohol, nothing in him. So that defense is already ruled out before you even try to bring it to court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Yvette's lawyer, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And her attorney's name is Amanda Morris. Amanda is like, okay, how about we send you to a psychiatrist and just kind of like see if there's anything we can do. The tests come back and they're like, yeah, she's a little schizophrenic, which probably like to make friends easy, want to talk all the time, tell your business. Now, at this time, Theodore's funeral was held on February 20th, 2012, down in Savannah, Georgia. And she got ready to take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial. Now, they thought that this was an open and shut case because she did pretty much give a confession to the sergeant. And they also have the neighbors to testify. One of the neighbors that gets up to testify, his name is Lorenzo Nelius. And Lorenzo's like, I heard stuff, but I ain't want to be that neighbor that just calls the cops when they hear stuff. Because, sometimes you be hearing stuff and you don't know what you're hearing.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Just mind your business. And he was like, I just moved here not too long ago where I moved from. We don't call the cops on people. So I didn't think that this was a situation where I need to call the cops. But, I heard a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The medical examiner also got up and testified about everything that was found on Theodore's body.
So Yvette's defense was no defense. Her lawyer presented no evidence. She called no witnesses to testify on her behalf. And Yvette chose not to testify. Her lawyer did say, quote, nobody saw this crime occur, so no one can say what happened. I don't think anyone who called 911 would be trying to cover up anything. Disagree, but...
They said she called 911 and no one saw it happen. How can it be her?
How can it be her? And maybe not even how can it be her, because there is the possibility that she can.
Mm-hmm.
But are you sure, beyond a reasonable doubt, that it's her?
Right.
With no real evidence, her lawyer is claiming that the investigators targeted Yvette because she was an easy suspect. She has a history of violence. She doesn't have the most calm demeanor. She expressed some frustrations, so she obviously did it.
Yeah, they were like, it's just sloppy.
They're taking advantage of her and her history, right? Her lawyer proceeds to say, why should the police thoroughly investigate a case because they've already picked out an easy target? The most important part of this investigation is what was not done.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, you can tell me this lined up and that lined up, but did you do this, that, and the third? Did you look for other people, or did you just already decide that it was Yvette?
Did you check fingerprints? Did
you
test
find
the blood?
any fingerprints?
You didn't do anything.
So she goes on to say that they did sloppy police work because in addition to not collecting all the evidence, they didn't test all the evidence. They didn't send out the blood samples of the blood that was splattered on the walls, floors, and other surfaces. They didn't fingerprint the front door. They didn't even fingerprint the bathroom where they found the body. They just decided that it was Yvette.
Mm-hmm.
So the jurors go and they deliberate for about 4 hours. And finally, they reach a verdict on a Friday. Yvette is acquitted of malice murder and guilty of felony murder.
They went on to the sentencing phase and they decided that she was going to go to jail for life. Prison, really. Life without the possibility of parole. One of the attorneys said, we believe that she is a threat to the community. We believe this is the only way to protect the community from Yvette. Now, Yvette quickly filed a motion. It was denied because she wanted a new trial. And then she filed an appeal. And she filed that appeal saying that basically she asked for a lawyer, so nobody should have been questioning her. And the sergeant was questioning her, and like she was in there and got her to talk. But they were like, no, the sergeant got you to eat by giving you a cigarette. Talking was on you. Because if the sergeant asked you another question, that would have been interrogation. That's what the sergeant was just like, well, you got to get right with God. Like, can't ask a question. And so that was denied as well. Yvette Taylor is housed at the Pulaski State Prison here in Georgia.
We got a few of them over there.
At Pulaski State Prison. And that is the story of Yvette Taylor. All right, y'all. It's time for...
Well, I'm not black. I'm OJ.
I ain't do it. But if I did, this is how I would have got away with it.
I ain't do it, but if I did, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful with a gun around my brother. Like,
When you sibling, I don't have a sibling, but it seems like siblings, when they really get to fighting, they get a little more reckless than normal people because siblings have been fighting their whole lives.
yes, and there just comes a point where, like, had I pulled that trigger once, it damn sure wouldn't have been pulled 2 more times. You know what I mean? That's enough to, like, I just wish you would have had some gun safety around your brother. Especially if it's close enough to shoot him in the eye, right?
Especially if it happened 3 times.
Which brings me to my other one. I ain't do it, but if I did, I'd have found some anger management. I have a bit of rage in me. I'm a Scorpio, you know. I find myself losing my temper.
I have a bit of rage in me. I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, so I find myself losing my temper from time to time. But, like, it upsets me when I do so. Like,
it exhausts me. Like, I get exhausted.
I get exhausted, but I also get upset that I allowed myself to get to that point because I want to be better than that. You know what I mean?
But wanting to be better than that, like, you go to therapy and you make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Yvette has to have a little bit of self-awareness.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I wish she had that self-awareness to realize that she needed some type of anger management and to learn to walk away. Like, sometimes you just gotta, how do you want to be defined as a person? And that's how you have to move through the world. But that's such a higher level of thinking, like, to not blame everybody else. Like, throughout it all, you are responsible for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So somebody can piss you off, somebody can do this, that, and the third, but you are responsible for you and how you respond. And, like, to think about it in a power sense and to give somebody the power to take me out of where I want to be in a regulated state, that pisses me off.
Obviously, that doesn't piss you that off.
What pisses her off is niggas trying her. Okay? If she done told you once, she done told you twice.
I ain't do it, but if I did, a bag of bloody things, if you're headed to your mom's house to tell her what's up, you should throw those things away before you get there. And you should throw them away far away.
Listen, she ain't had no time.
She
couldn't get that far.
She better go on foot.
Man.
You want to get away with this? You better go on foot.
I imagine that it was not that far away from the apartment complex. Like,
because you know the wooded areas in an apartment complex aren't that deep.
They might be as deep as this room. Like, girl, she's just like, not a dumpster.
I did exactly what my mommy told me to.
Right.
I ain't do it if I did. Just quit your job. And move in with your mom across the street.
That's why I said it couldn't be that deep. Ain't no way it's that deep.
Not enough to kill. I could see it being deep enough to quit your job, that you don't want to take care of him no more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a frustrating job. Wiping somebody's ass, like, stories I could tell. It's a frustrating job. Especially if you don't have that in your heart to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have, like, some people are natural caretakers. Some people are taking care of loved ones. Some people, like, are just nurturers. But you gotta have that in you. Mm-hmm. Or else that shit is, like, it might be cool and the checks might clear for the first couple of weeks. But when the hard days becoming most of the days, it ain't shit. It's the same as caring for kids.
Yep.
If your heart ain't in it, you shouldn't do it. That's why you got these teachers out there, teachers suspended for slapping toddlers. Can't do that. So she should have found a different lane, which is probably hard being that she's convicted felon and all.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, if convicted felons can be presidents, you can do anything. You just gotta set your mind to it.
I ain't do it. But if I did, take the plea again. Take the plea again.
What you fighting for?
You know you did it, girl. Just take the plea again.
Maybe she thought once she got that schizophrenic diagnosis that they would be a little more lenient with her. But honestly, I feel like it might even done her more harm, right? Because I can see a jury being biased or whatever and be like, she's schizophrenic. Yes, she was undiagnosed, But, I feel like people are scared of people with mental illness, especially when you start talking about schizophrenia and stuff like that. Like depression and anxiety is one thing, but schizophrenia, it's like, oh, you don't know what that person's going to do. And people who are afraid of like what's going to happen, and she obviously has a tendency to move towards violence. I feel like they was like, nah, she's where she need to be. She's a risk.
Yeah.
Instead of somebody who needs help and treatment and stuff like it,
You got any more? Mm-mm. All right, that's all I got. Whew, and that is the end. All right, parole or no parole? I think she needs to sit in there, not because of the schizophrenia thing, but because you murdered this man. I think without a reasonable doubt, you murdered this man. You were frustrated, you were angry, you took it out on him, when in reality, you could have just quit your job, had somebody else wipe his ass if it was so frustrating for you.
Mm-hmm. I want her to get help. And then I want her to be reevaluated. Like, because I honestly think the way it's going to go, she's going to show herself sooner or later. If she was in the jail getting treatment that she needed, then that's a big if, right? But if she's in the jail getting treatment that she needed, time is only going to tell if you did that due to schizophrenia or if you did that due to the nature of your being. Mm-hmm. You're going to get into it with somebody else. You're going to get upset again. Yeah, that is just life. And she going to show if that's exactly where she need to be or not.
She probably already has.
You know what I mean? So
she been in there since 2012.
Yeah. Girl, because even when they tried to let you out on parole, you fucked it up and had to finish your sentence. Again, probably not being treated at this point. But like, if you was in therapy doing all this stuff, I do wonder what she's like with treatment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right, that's the end. Okay, y'all. It's time for our Black-owned ad for the day. If you would like your ad of your business, your small Black-owned business right here on Sistas Who Kill, you can email us at sistaswhokillpodcast@gmail.com. That's sistaswhokillpodcast@gmail.com, and you'll hear back from Taz.
Yeah, you will. And I'll tell you that your ad gets to live in our episode forever. What do you have to do? It's easy. Be black and die. No, I'm just kidding. You have to be black, own a business, and have $500 to hold your spot. And with that, we will tell America and even some people in the UK, Canada, and Africa about your small Black-owned business.
That's right. You make sure you email us at sistaswhokillpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get back to you. All right, it's time to read some reviews. If you would like to leave us a review, please do so. You can leave it anywhere that you are listening to this podcast. Let people know that you love us. Let people know that we're great. You have one? I don't.
Speaking of Africa, yes, I do.
Okie doke.
This one says 2 snaps and a circle. Is that it?
I give it 3 snaps and a Z formation.
That's 4. You need 4.
That's the way it goes. It's in living color.
They short on their Z. They got to finish it off. Maybe it's that. This one says, I love y'all down. You hear me? I've been listening now for a year, and let me just say I'm addicted. I never miss an episode. When I listen, it's like I'm in my room with my sisters. Y'all make me feel at home. I'm American, but I live in Uganda. Not only do I get to listen to true crime, but I get to hear our culture. Now, Taz, elaborate on how that Corolla exploded.
That's a fun Patreon
I didn't finish
story.
that. I think it's on Patreon already, isn't it? I think it is.
Is it or is it on an old story? I know
Probably
you told
both.
the story.
Yeah, I feel like I've told it already. But yeah. It's out there somewhere.
This one is 5 stars. It says, Yep. Sistas Who Kill hates to see me coming because I am on it. I absolutely love you guys and quick to recommend y'all's podcast. Keep them coming. Thank you.
Thank you, friend.
We appreciate that. Make sure that you leave us a review and tell somebody. Recommend it. Let people know that we're amazing. We're interested. All right? If you'd like to keep up with us, please do so. You can follow us on Twitter, Sistas Who Kill, Instagram, Sistas Who Kill Pod, TikTok, Sistas Who Kill Podcast, Facebook, Sistas Who Kill Podcast, private discussion group, Sistas Who Kill Podcast, private discussion group. Keep up with us. We're amazing. We have Patreon.com/Sistas Who Kill. Anything else, friend?
Talk this, we talk back.
Bye.
Bye.